ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hashim, and I'm 500 level medical student in October 16 University. So I'm here to discuss on the issue of Almajiri, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. So, firstly, we have to look into this Almajiri, as we call it. What does it mean? What does it stand for? Almajiri is a term derived from an Arabic word which stands for Almajiri. It means migrants in search of knowledge. So those are people that migrate from their own environment to other environment or to their neighboring society in search of Islamic knowledge. So under the history of Islamic knowledge in Nigeria, this Almajiri starts in about 11th century. So it was started by due to the involvement of the MS in it, especially those from the Borno region. So they were the first set of MS to involve themselves into Islamic knowledge. So after like about 700 years, due to the coming of the Islamic revolution by Sheikh Usman bin Fodi, he do establish an electorate committee or inspectorate committee about this issue of Almajiri. During those years, the issue of Almajiri begging was never involved in it, and then there is no reason of doing menial job for the student to find food or any source of living. So at that moment, the Almajiri issue were taken over by the zakat paid by the people, and then the waqf, the OPSI, the society, the authorities, they were all responsible in taking care of those Almajiri. That's why before the coming of the colonial masters, the people of the northern part of Nigerians were known for their good moral background. They were found with their own normal trading system, with their own good culture and traditions, with everything perfect. So after the invasion of the colonial masters, they go against this Islamic knowledge because it is something that is solely under the rulers, then the MS, if I may call them. So they introduced this Western education. At those moments, people go out in search of Islamic knowledge. They were taken care of. They have no worry about what to eat or where to sleep. So our people then believe in this Almajiri, as we call it, not the present Almajiri we are referring to. So they believe in that search of knowledge. So it's not easy for you to expect someone to give up on what he has believed. So our people keep persuading the Islamic knowledge no matter the difficulties. So there was not any support then. All the support were shifted to the Western education. The emirs were left as just mere rulers. They have no any source of incomes, and they were the one responsible in taking care of those Almajiri issues. They were the one placed by Sheikh Usman bin Fodi, the Islamic reformist. So after some years, this is what we have experienced now. The issue of Almajiri has completely deteriorated. So after then, we are now seeing what is actually happening. Most of those children, when they go out in search of knowledge, they have to lower themselves for them to get what to eat. They have to do menial jobs for them to survive. They have to slave on the streets. But considering the little I have said, you have seen where the problem arises. They are not taken care of. And under the current statistics, we now have about 10 million Almajiri in the northern part of Nigeria. 10 million people. Put human beings behind those numbers. So their parents do send them away in search of Islamic knowledge. Most of them didn't get it. Those that were successful, they involved themselves into trading. Some become drivers, some got married. So there were people that were taken away from their parents at an early age. Some were taken away while they were 5 years. So how do you expect them to know what love is? They grew up, they got married, they didn't show enough love to their children, not enough care, and they keep producing people in the society. That's why we are always going down. So you have seen the case now. This is the first case scenario. And then another thing is this. Those that were not able to get the education that is needed, they die of diseases. Some were dwell into child abuse or child trafficking, and then a lot of them engage into menial jobs. They didn't study, they just started washing cars or become an errand boys in the society. So we should ask ourselves, why is this problem not yet managed? So to me, there is something I call the conspiracy of silence. The parents benefit from this, the authorities benefit from this, and then the society too. The reason why I say the parents benefit from this is this. The parents have an excuse of sending away the children they cannot cater for into a society. They give birth to children at an early age, they send them away because they will no longer cater for them. And the reason why they do this is because our system doesn't see something like this wrong. How can you allow, just like my brother said, how can you allow a man that survives on an income of 10,000 to marry about 3 or 4 wives, produce 20 to 30 children? How can you care for them? Our system didn't see something as a thing that is wrong. We allow them to do it. So if they gave birth to those children, they took them away in search of this Islamic knowledge, as they call it, because nowadays you can't even refer it as Islamic knowledge. The authorities back then in the days, the government do make budget for those students. So now the government will no longer make budget for about 10 million people. So they didn't see it as something wrong. They are not ready to address it, because if they start addressing the issue, then they have to invest much money into the system. The society, me and you and our fellows outside, those 10 million people are no more competitive to us. There is less competition, so we don't mind talking about it, and they are not our brothers and sisters. But we don't believe they have a role to play in the society. If we really want to succeed, it surely takes the cumulative effort of all of us to attain an ideal society we all aspire and of course deserve. So, what's the remedy? So my time is coming to an end, I have to sort of think. So the remedy here is this. As we are all aware and we can all attest that this system is not working. So why not stop it? We have to stop it first, and we have to remodel it. If the government are going to involve themselves into the system, let them involve themselves. Those children are citizens of Nigeria. They deserve a better life. They deserve better something. All what we are going to enjoy, they deserve it too. So why not establish schools like those in the Western education, provide them with food, therefore, and then regulate the system, marital issue in Nigeria, regulate it. Because there is no reason for you to allow someone to go and do all those polygamy marriage. You know, it's getting much. And then there's another issue. Sometimes you just wake up, you feel like adding another wife, you'll just ask the fourth one or the first one, you ask her, I divorce you. And the authority will not do anything about it. You divorce her, she moved away with about 6, 7 children. She went back to her father, who when he is giving her away, he thinks he is at least getting rid of a body. And she came back with a package of 6 or 7 or 8. So he has no alternative than to also take them to that Almajiri. Then why are we surprised if we have children on the street engaging themselves in drugs abuse? My opponent here has talked about banning coding. Banning coding is not the problem. It's not the way to solve this problem. We have to go through the root and address it. So considering my time is over, I think I have done it.
Okay. Please, questions?